right, Mazzy. You know it's mixing night, Maz. You know it's mixing night, Maz, right? Are you ready for mixing night, Mazzy? I know I'm ready for mixing night. All right, I bet the live audience is caught up. Merry Christmas! Welcome to Mixing Night. I'm your host, Ken Lewis. It's Christmas in October. I'm going to cut that shit out right now. Okay, it'll make sense in a moment, I promise. I have the weirdest resume in the entire music industry with various credits on over 100 gold records. Check it out at kenlewis.com. Tonight's show has a ton of great segments to it, but my favorite is part one of producing for full orchestra for a pop Christmas song. Oh my God, it's so good. It is so good. I've been producing a Christmas song for a friend of the show and Forrest Gump impersonator Cliff Sims. He is the gooeyest. And the song is so good that I brought in the Michael Moss, the movie trailer boss, as well as the let me see if I can get this out, the Sophia Session Orchestra from Sofia, Bulgaria, to perform and record an arrangement of the song for us. Oh man, that's going to be so good. I cannot wait. We are scoring for 53 musicians. 53. I'll show you later. Tonight I'll break down the arrangement of all of the instruments. I'll talk about what we're going for, the strategy for the instrumentation, how things play off of each other and hand off one line to the next. Stuff like that, how to work with the orchestra and get what you want as a producer or an artist. But most importantly tonight, I want to show you guys how to hire and produce a real live full orchestra for your own song in 2021, which I have found to be surprisingly simple and kind of affordable. I mean, affordable in the sense that you're hiring an entire orchestra. It's bananas. I mean, it's kind of a one-time thing. That's really going to be a great and unique segment. Mixing Night Part 2 in 2 weeks is going to be the after. So we record the Sophia Session Orchestra before the next Mixing Night. Then on the show, I'm going to be able to show you guys, compare and contrast the live orchestra with the MIDI orchestra, and we will see once and for all, is live better than MIDI, or how far has MIDI come? I'm not really too worried. I think as great as Michael Moss is on the MIDI shit, and he's incredible, the Sophia Session Orchestra is going to be incredible. I can't wait. And Dom, if you're paying attention, please remind me to tell everybody about the J. Cole live string production sessions that I produced. They're kind of relevant to what's going on here. I'll tell you that later. Okay, who amongst you has acquired GreenHAAS? Okay, wow, the nice things people are saying about GreenHAAS. They are literally pouring out of a watering can to us. It's truly heartwarming. It's like as if I was in, like, say, a greenhouse under a sundial with maybe some gamma rays. Oh, feels so good. You can get GreenHAAS at mixingnightaudio.com. We have our own website now, mixingnightaudio.com. GreenHAAS is right at the top left. It's got a 14-day trial, so, no commitments. But I virtually guarantee you, day one of your demo, you're going to be like, oh, okay, where's my wallet? Let me just get this taken care of. Anyway, I really got to thank my Mixing Night ambassadors. Word of mouth is absolutely everything to an upstart company. Trust me, nobody knows Mixing Night Audio exists yet outside of our little bubble. And all of you watching and spreading the word about GreenHAAS and Mixing Night, you are our best ambassadors. Thank you so much. And we had a really successful pre-sale thanks to all of you. I really appreciate it. And if you notice the show getting better and better over the next few months, pat yourselves all on the back because we have GreenHAAS and you guys and girls to thank for it. Seriously, we really appreciate it. Okay, on to Mixing Night. I'm your host, Ken Lewis. Check us out over at Discord between shows. We have a contest going right now over at our Mixing Night Discord channel to name the plant monster in GreenHAAS. You heard me right. We are naming the plant monster in GreenHAAS, maybe forever, and it could be you. So get your suggestions in over at the Mixing Night Discord channel. And later on in the show, I'll read you a bunch of the current suggestions. And so many of them are just great. I love them. But right now, make sure you got those speakers up or those good headphones fired up because we have Are you ready? Do you feel this right now? Sprint mixing, question answering, GreenHAASing, Marcus, Manderson, mysterying, beat challenge, finaleing, mono, stereo, binaural challenge, finale, ear training. You are not ready for the mono, stereo, binaural ear training. I promise you. It's not going to be that unsettling. It's probably going to be about 9 o'clock, though. It's a fun one. The worksheets for ear training are in the description of the video that you are watching right now. Ear training worksheet in the description link. You can download it. It's a PDF. It'll open right up for you, but don't leave us. Come back. Okay, so Beat Challenge finale tonight. The Beat Challenge finale is sponsored by Arturia. Man, we are giving away hardware tonight. Yes! Arturia Minifuse interfaces to the top 3 entries on the Beat Contest. Hardware, baby! In your hands, thanks to Arturia. Killer Beat Challenge on this show, too, man. Oof, you guys really threw down on this. I think I narrowed it to like a top 12, which was nearly impossible with all the entries. I'm so sorry to everybody who didn't make the top 12. It was a tough choice. Okay, on to sprint mixing. Tonight is by truly awesome German band Trailway Circus. I am sprint mixing their single Broken in a Million Ways, just like me. It's a killer rock song. It was originally mixed by Mixing Night co-founder Dom Ravinius. Great work, Dom. I'm so glad we started Mixing Night with you, dude. What a blessing. Okay, on to sprint mixing. Why sprint mixing, Ken? Why? Okay, I'll tell you why. So sprint mixing is not about mixing fast. It's about trusting your gut and your instincts and learning to make fast decisions, live with them, move on to the next decision, live with that one, move on to the next decision, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you back up and you reevaluate all of your last 5 decisions and you ask yourself, you know, better, worse, what do you need? And then you go on and make more. And it's this series of not allowing yourself to get into the rut of overthinking things, not allowing yourself to get into the rut of overusing technology, using plugins before you even really think you need it or why you're grabbing it, all that stuff. So sprint mixing really trains your instincts. If you're not familiar with it, 10 minutes on the clock. I have about 31 mixed stems. I've only heard this song like twice before, so I might do a really different interpretation of this. This is going to be my interpretation of what these stems are telling me, and I'm going to be really interested to talk to the band. If they're on the chat roll, let me know how I did after, and be honest. Like, if I fucked this shit up, just tell me. Like, I'm a big boy. I can take it. Okay, so without further ado, you know we mask up around here for sprint mixes. It is Ken Lewis. It is mixing night. This is Trailway Circus. Broken in a Million Ways, just like me. And Mazzy is making sure she gets her treats tonight. Oh, she is on the case. All right, 10 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Welcome to Mixing Night. I'm Ken Lewis. I am so happy you've joined us. Oh, see, I'm wasting time already. All right, how do I get...
It's such a shame she won't but ways as she tries to hide inside all her pain. With pills in her veins, she's never gonna be the same. With every step, her heart is falling. From the day we've met, I know she's not alright. I don't think that I can go on by her side, but I've seen it dancing well behind those eyes, and I know she likes it. Always failing to convey back all the words you've said, or would you keep them? Back of your head, say you're so sorry, say it's insane, like your friend Charlie, high on cocaine. In the back of your head, say you're so sorry, say it's insane. To take back all the words you said, or would you keep them? Of your head, say it's to take back all the words you said, or would you keep them? In the back of your head, say it's to take all the words you said, or would you keep them? In the back of your head, say it's to take back all the words you said, or would you keep them? Would you keep them? In the back of your head, say you're so sorry, say it's insane, like your friend Charlie, high on cocaine. You care for over time, though your heart's always in the skies, like you're always failing to convey. She's broken in a million ways, but I've seen it. She tries to hide inside pain. With pills in veins, she's never gonna be the same. With every step, her heart is falling apart, and no one else is to blame. Oh, I'll try and numb the pain, though your hands up, let name take the pain away. It's gonna be okay. She's broken in a oh, I'll try and numb the pain, though your hands up, let know your name take the pain away. Oh, I'll try and numb, though your hands up, let know your name take the pain away. It's gonna be okay. Oh, I'll try and numb the pain. Race, so would you race back to the when you still had hope? No, not yet gone. Just your race, so would you race back to the days when you still had hope? No, not yet gone. Just your race, so would you race? I've seen it well behind eyes, and I know she likes the truth behind those lies. Pills in her veins, she's never gonna be the same. With every step, her heart is falling apart, and no one else is to blame. It's such a shame she won't believe in her heart. From the day we've met, I know she's not alright. I don't think that I can.
Now that everything's in the mix, I can really start working on fine-tuning balances. And if you see, like I let the guitars be tucked down for a little while because they're really big and aggressive, and I wanted to hear where everything else came in. And then I pulled up the guitars because they're going to swallow up a lot of stuff. And now I'm going to rebalance things after those big guitars are in.
Pills in her veins, she's never gonna be the same. With every step, her heart is falling apart, and no one else is to blame. It's such a shame she won't believe in her heart. From the day we've met, I know all the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words you've said, or would you keep them? All the words words you said, would you keep them? All the words you said, would you keep them? All the words you said until come take back all the words you said, would you keep them? She's broken in a million ways, and she tries to hide inside full of pain. With pills in her veins, she's never gonna be the same. With every step, her world is falling apart, and no one else is to blame. It's such a shame she won't believe in her heart. From the day we've met, I knew she's not alright. I don't think that I can go on my side, but I see the dancing world behind those eyes, and I know she hides the truth behind those lies. Until come she's broken in a million ways. 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 Broken in a million ways. And she tries to hide inside full of pain. Care for who it's always in the skies, like always, failing to come back. Take back all the care for over time. Would you take that? Would you take that? Are we there yet? Broken in a million ways. From the day we've met, I knew she's not alright. I don't think that I can go on my side, but I see the dancing world behind those eyes, and I know.
Now I think this is all together. I'm going to check my transitions.
She's broken in a million ways, and she tries to hide inside full of pain. With pills in her veins, she's never gonna be the same. With every step, her world is falling apart, and nothing to blame. So insane. Would you take that chance to erase, or would you race back to the days when you still had hope? No, not yet gone. A chance to overcome and to right the wrong. Or will you go out trying numb the pain? Throw your hands up, let them know your name. Take the pain away, it's gonna be okay. Are we there yet? Broken in a million ways, and she tries to hide inside your name. Take the pain away, it's gonna be okay. Are we there yet? Broken in a million ways, and she tries to hide inside full of pain. With pills in her veins, she's never gonna be the same. With every step, her world is falling apart, and no one else is to blame. It's so insane. Would you take back all the words you said, or would you keep them in the back of your head? Say it's so sorry, say it's insane, like your friend Charlie, high on cocaine. You care for over time, till your heart's always in the skies, like always, failing to come back. Take back all the words you said, or would you keep them? She's broken in a million ways, and she tries to hide inside.
Whew. Welcome to Mixing Night. I'm Ken Lewis. Woo, that is Trailway Circus with Broken in a Million Ways. I think the spring came together really, really nice to my ears, but I really don't know the source song at all. So I'm hoping that that translated the way that the band and Dominic wanted to. But that's kind of one of the fun things about sprint mixing is everybody's going to sit and interpret it completely, not completely differently, but, you know, differently enough. You'll feature the guitars and I'll feature the bass, and you'll feature the drums and I'll feature the vocals, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, faders down to finished. 10 minutes, even did a really rough slap together of the mix bus. I felt like the overall mix was a little bit bright, so this foundation on the Brainworks BX Master Desk. Master Desk is available in both Plugin Alliance and UAD. I think this is the UAD version. And foundation is a tilt. So if you tilt right, then you get a little bit more bass and a little less high end. And if you tilt left, then you get a little more high end and a little less bass. So the only things I'm really doing here is I'm taking a touch of presence off the overall. I'm stereo widening it just a touch. I'm taking the overall output down just a little bit to give me some headroom. And I'm just driving it to like a good mastered level. And that's about it. But the two reasons that I grabbed this specific finisher for this specific mix was I felt like the vocals were a little bit essy, and the overall mix was a little bit bright, and this box does de-essing on the fly. Maybe I can cue up a portion of the song and actually show you how it's reacting to both the... I'm sure this will do it. All right, let's see what this sounds like.
Tries to hide inside full of pain. With pills in her veins, she's never gonna be the same.
Do you hear that meter, the de-esser meter, reacting every time that a really loud S hits? And that's de-essing the entire mix bus. But it's doing it cleverly enough that you don't even really hear it. And basically all it does is it tamps down the high frequency energy when it gets a little bit too harsh. And this is my go-to box whenever I hear something like that in the mix where I'm like, all right, everything sounds great except for this little thing is a little too bitey and I know what to get. And then the foundation is a tilt, so I'm just tilting it a little bit to the bass and a little less to the high end. And here's with and without.
Tries to hide inside full of pain. With pills in her veins, she's never gonna be the same. With every step, I wanna swallow.
I mean, it is a 30-second mastering job, so not bad for 30 seconds. Let's see, what else? You know, the other thing for those who haven't seen me sprint mix before, you probably noticed a lot of very fast solo, listen, adjust, put it right back in, and then adjust more and more and more, and cut and uncut. So I don't work in solo. I let solo allow my ear to identify what the sound is or what the part is and what it's doing. And I just catalog all of its characteristics as fast as I can. You know, lead vocal, male, rock, kind of aggressive, mid-rangey, you know, really compressed. Okay, boom. I can put it back in and I can follow that thing around the mix wherever. So I don't work in solo, but I use solo to allow my ears to hear the fine details of what I'm doing so that when I put it back in the mix, my brain catalogs those fine details. How's that for you? Okay, I'm going to save that. I like that mix. Great song, guys. Again, that was Trailway Circus with Broken in a Million Ways, just like me. We have so much cool stuff on the show tonight. I don't even know where to begin. Oh, we have a shout out. Matteo Gillespie is having a birthday today. Ah! Matteo, you're on the chat. Happy birthday. All right. Large Minds on the chat asks, hey, Ken, in your opinion, is Orchestra more technical in terms of sound position and soundstage, or is it simpler in terms of processing than MIDI? Typically, I think if you're talking about how to record, how to actually capture them when they're playing the parts that have already been completely worked out. I believe that's the question. So they're playing the completed score. The choir, the orchestra that we're working with, the Sophia Session Orchestra, has their own studio. They have a big, open, great sounding room. They have microphones that are always in place. They have ISO booths for like the harp player and some of the percussion. And and they have a great control room. And let's see, I'll get to more of that stuff when I go through the whole thing. But most of a live recording of an orchestra is captured with what's called a Decca tree. So if you're not familiar with a Decca tree, Google it. It's basically, I think it's like a 3 microphone array, and you put it real up high in a great sounding room over top of your orchestra or your string section or wherever. And it just has this, like, somebody figured out the perfect spread decades ago, and that's the Decca tree is used on almost every orchestra session that gets recorded. And you try and get as much out of those 53 players into that Decca tree set of microphones that you possibly can. And then you have fill-in microphones over each section, so that if you paid a lot of money to get that violin solo and the violinist is buried in the Decca tree, that you have a spot mic on the violin section, so that when the violins take their big moment and the Decca tree doesn't quite bring it out, then you can use the spot mics to bring up the moments and the mood. So whenever I'm mixing orchestral stuff with Decca tree and spot mics, I'm constantly automating just little moments, little viola here, then a little violin here, and then pick up the cello here, and you just kind of try and let the ear take you on a journey. Okay. 12-2 sound from the chat roll. Hey, 12-2 asks, hey Ken, will you suggest pre-production when starting a new project, or let sounds and theme come together as you finish tracks? If you're talking about like producing like a EP or an album or something like that, every artist is different, and I try to produce for what the artist needs every time. Same with mixing. And some artists have a real thought out, this is who I am, this is the type of music I do, this is what I want to sound like, and this is the general framework of what works for me as an artist. And either that's really overtly told, or it's kind of implied by the rest of their body of work, or, if you know them or not, it can be anything. But usually I like to just hear the raw demos of a project really early on, because I'm really, really good at hearing a raw demo and envisioning what it could be. And I think the perfect example of that would be Skrizzly Adams' Me and You. Skrizzly Adams' Me and You was a song that they had produced completely start to finish 3 times before I ever heard it, and everybody hated it and threw it away and wanted it to never come out again. And I brought Skrizzly Adams over, and I made him play me. This was when we first we had met a couple times, but this when we were talking about working together. He came over and played me demos of everything that he had, and about 20 demos in, when I already thought I had picked the one, song 21 was called Oxy. And Oxy was the demo of Me and You. And I listened to that one time, and I was just like, okay, this is your single. And Dan's like, oh no, I'm sorry, this can't be the single. I only played that for you because you kept pushing me to play you more stuff. He's like, our manager hates this song. We've done everything to the song. I'm like, that's okay. I'm going to make everybody love it. And that's going to be the single. And so sometimes I have a real vision and a sense of where I'm going to go. Sometimes not. It all depends. Okay. The Discord Plant Monster contest is on and popping over at the Mixing Night Discord channel. I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you're familiar with GreenHAAS, then you know that the big Plant Monster is a big feature of GreenHAAS. We love it so much. And we started a contest over at Discord. I didn't even know this was happening. This was like, next thing I know, Lori's telling me like, hey, they're going to name the plant. I was like, cool, okay. Yeah, coffee. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So, I'm not going to read them all, but some of our favorites, Venus, of course. I mean, Chompy, Snap the Carnivine. I love that. Len, of course. Len Kuis is making an appearance on the show later on tonight, actually. So, shout out to Len Kuis. Len Mazzy Lori Lewis. Len Mazzy Lori Kuis. I like that. Although it probably should have been Len Lazzy Mori, wouldn't it? Len Lazzy Mori Kuis. You fucked that one up. We'll fix it. All right. Stompy, I love that one. Wally, Alan, Blumline, that's a good one. Wear helmet in honor of Helmet Haas. Not bad. Tony Stalk, I love that. The Incredible Stalk. Black Panther. Black Panther, I love it. Green Stalk, Will Whedon, for those Star Wars fans, and Big Bang Theory. The Herb. the Wakanda Weed, I love it. Venus Fly, Flora, Montague, the Monocular Monster. These are great, people. Keep them coming. We're going to run this probably until next show, and then we're going to decide and pick one. And then that might be the name of the plant monster forever. So there you go. That's so much fun. You know, the funnest thing... Not the funnest thing. One of the very fun things about this show is all of the crazy different paths that it leads us down that are just so unexpected. I mean, how did we stumble across all of this insanity? It's so much fun for us. Okay, later on in the show, I am going to play you this song from Cliff Sims. Let me cue it up real quick. I'm not going to play it for you. I'm going to play you the demo. Here's the demo that got us to the orchestra.
We could make angels and snow on Christmas. I keep wishing we could build Frosty, but he wouldn't stay. Another snowman melts away to his grave on Christmas. What am I missing? Dreaming from a TV screen. I've never seen a white Christmas. I always feel like I'm missing out. Never seen Santa's sleigh, only got sunny days.
That is going to be a classic. I'm going to make that song a classic. Me and Cliff Sims and Michael Moss and the Sophia Session Orchestra. Oh, I'm a lucky man. That's going to be so much fun. It already is so much fun. We're having a blast doing it, and it's really, you'll hear in a bit the full thing. So I'm not going to get to that yet, but that's on tap for what's going to be the full orchestra song. So coming up soon. Where can I go? You know, it should be mentioned that Broadway is back, baby. We went to see what was the name of that show at the Booth Theater? Freestyle Love Supreme at the Booth Theater on Broadway. Freestyle Love Supreme is I think Lin-Manuel Miranda originally did the show. He wasn't there on Friday night, but Wayne Brady was. The show was okay. So it's like a hip hop improv, yeah, hip hop improvisation, and they're amazing. It's hilarious, and it's really clever, and anybody creative would absolutely love it. And the best thing for me was, so you know, I'm on meds that suppress my immune system a little bit, and I'm not gonna die or anything. But, you know, I don't like being in big crowds, especially in pandemic time. So anybody who's hesitant about going to Broadway, let me tell you, they are very, very serious about checking your vaccine card against your photo ID and making sure they match before they let you into that building. And then all of the ushers are very vigilant about patrolling masks and making sure that everybody has their mask above their nose. And the only people without masks are the performers, and it feels like a very safe environment to me. Thank you so much, Broadway. I really, really appreciate it. I mean, for me, it's hard to get out in crowds. I mean, COVID, I'm vaccinated, and I have Moderna, so I'm at low risk for a breakthrough infection, but they're happening. And, if you're out there, get vaccinated, mask up. This shit ain't over yet. I didn't show you guys I want to show you this. So here's the album cover from Trailway Circus, the song that I sprint mixed at the top of the program. I just wanted to show you guys the artwork because I just think it's so badass. All right, what's next on the Slurpfest program? You want to do ear training? Ooh, we're gonna get to ear training early tonight. All right. So ear training tonight. Okay, if you haven't gotten your ear training worksheet, it is in the description of the video that you're watching right now. It is in the description. Click that link, download the PDF. It'll open right on your laptop or your phone or your wherever. Okay, tonight is mono, stereo, and binaural rapid fire ear training. So I think we have 17 examples. Yeah. 17 examples in a row. Once I start, I'm not going to stop. You have to pay attention to what track is playing at what given time. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you guys can not stress yourselves out. Okay, so to an extent, you got to pay attention and make sure that you're listening to the right track that you're trying to judge. But what you're judging is what you're hearing in mono, or in stereo, or in binaural 360. So there's all these binaural plugins now. Atmos mixes fold down to binaural in headphones now. And binaural is kind of this outside of the speaker experience. So if you are not familiar with binaural yet and you feel like you're having an outside of the speaker experience on some of these examples, that might be a good guess. So without further ado, let me treat up the treat hound and get started with some ear training. Again, if you don't have the ear training worksheet, it's linked in the description of the video you're watching right now. PDF, download it. All right, number one, mono, stereo, or binaural.
You tell me something that'll bring me home. Let me know that I ain't too far gone. She said, but you can't have it all.
I've been all before. I take the first hit, and I breathe in deep, the higher that I need. If you let me down, let me down. I've been dedicated to falling apart. Oh, oh, oh.
4. 5.
By now, now the car just stalls when the light turns green. It's like all my plans to feel. I wonder
7.
if you're laughing at my jokes on me. I don't know if you think I'm corny or I'm
That came out this week.
What good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without.
9. 10. 11.
promise I'll be cooler. I swear I will be smoother.
13. 14.
shutting you out, like I never knew you. You were one of the crowd, and I'm getting used to just letting you down, but you know I need saving now.
15. 16. 15. 17.
Blow your mind with conversation, won't believe the transformation. I promise I'll be cooler. Cooler?
All right, how you doing so far? One more listen through, then the big reveal. That last song is AJ Smith Cooler. For people who follow the show, everybody knows that that song has been featured. AJ Smith Cooler came out this week. Please follow him on Spotify and spin Cooler and support. Man, we have high hopes for him. Here we go. One more listen through, then the reveal. Number 1.
You tell me something that'll bring me home. Let me know that I ain't too far gone. She said, but you can't have it all.
I've been all before. I take the first hit, and I breathe in deep, higher than I need. If you let me down, let me down. I've been
3.
dedicated to falling apart.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
Right now, now the car just stalls when the light turns green. It's like all my plans still feel.
I wonder if you're laughing at my jokes or me. I don't know if you
7.
think I'm corny or I'm sweet.
What good would living
8.
do me? God only knows what I'd be without.
9. 10. 11. 12.
I swear I will be smoother.
13. 14.
You out like I never knew you. You were one of the crowd, and I'm getting used to just letting you down, letting you down. But you know I need saving now.
And it's been 10 years since I turned
15.
18. But I'm the man that I said I would be by now. Now the car just stalls and the light turns green. It's like all my plans are dead like green.
16. 17.
Blow your mind with conversation, won't believe the transformation. I promise I'll be cooler. Cooler?
All right, the big reveal. Number 1 is stereo.
You tell me something that'll bring me home. Let me know that I ain't too far gone. She said, but you can't have it all.
I've been all before. I take the first hit, and I breathe in deep, higher than I need. If you let me down, let me down. I've been dedicated to falling apart.
Sorry, I can't find the ear training document. Number 2 is mono.
before I take the first hit, and I breathe in deep, higher than I need. If you let me down, let me down. I've been
Binaural is number 3 is binaural. Not meant to sound good. I wanted to throw it way binaural. So it's not meant to sound good. I wanted to throw it way binaural so you could really hear like outside the speaker. So here, number 3 is binaural.
I've been dedicated to falling apart.
4 is mono. 5 and 6 are both stereo. 5 and 6 are stereo.
By now, now the car just stalls when the light turns green. It's like all my plans to feel.
7 is binaural.
What good would
Stereo. Number 8, stereo.
God only knows what I'd be without.
9 is stereo. 10 is mono. 11 is binaural.
I promise I'll be
12 is stereo.
I swear I will be smoother.
Binaural is 13 is binaural. Is mono.
I'm getting used to shutting you out, like I never knew you. You were one of the crowd, and I'm getting used to.
15 is stereo.
It's been 10 years since I turned 18. But why am the man that I said I would be by now? My car just stopped and I
16 is binaural.
God only knows what I
17 is stereo.
I won't be no loser. Blow your mind with conversation. Won't believe the transformation. I promise I'll be cool.
There you go. Post up on the chat roll. Let me know how you guys did. And boom, boom, boom. Fire away questions on the chat roll as well. I got some pre-submitted questions that I can get to, though. Adam Godar asks, "Hey Ken, how big is your studio? Dimensions, width, height, depth." In here, it's slanted ceilings, so the ceilings are about 8 feet, maybe 8.5. I think I'm about 13 by 16, and I'm long ways, so I'm not shotgunning the speaker array. I'm kind of flat with it. But there's a lot of natural sound absorption and sound diffusion, and put their sound absorption and diffusion as well, that tightens up the room and gives me kind of what I want focus wise. Some of the things that I did that really helped me tighten this room up, already had a carpet with a big thick carpet pad that definitely helped soak up a lot of energy. Put another like area like 9 by 12 throw rug on top of that. And then, you know, these mixing night lights that we got ringing the place are all in these black soffits in the ceiling, and we have the black soffits loaded with, you know, sound absorption and shit. But I think one of the biggest bonuses for this studio with bass is these slanted ceilings kind of go down to a triangular cavity right behind the speaker array and behind me on the other side, and it just... I got lucky. I got really fucking lucky. But when I go to mastering and I listen to my mixes that I did here, on, you know, the 50, 60, 80,000 dollar mastering speakers, it sounds like my mix, only a little bit clearer. So whatever the fuck I did, man, it was just dialed in really nice. Kev J got 17 of 17 on ear training. Yes! Woo! Kev J, congratulations, dude. That's a fucking awesome score. Wow, you are paying attention tonight. Who else did well? Who else? Post up. Let me hear what you guys got. I got coffee is what I got. All right. What was I talking about? Okay, room dimensions, I think I covered that. Adam, if you're on and you got any other follow-up questions, fire away. Nick Brown asks, hey, Ken, what should you be doing daily to train your ears? Sprint mixes. Such as, are there programs, apps, a way to train your ears so that you provide better mixes? Sprint mixes. And you can get Sprint mixes while they're still available at audioschoolonline.com. They may not be there very much longer. Get them while they're good. I truly believe they are the best and fastest mix training for anybody who wants to improve their mixing skills on the planet. I put my name on it. Try it. And the sprint mixes that I do at the beginning of the show, that's Jedi level. That's level 6. So the way I lay out the sprint mixes is level 1 through level 6. Level 1 is like, I've never mixed anything in my entire life. I don't know what to do, Ken. Show me the way. Level 1. That's where you start. And then it's just like a video game. Level 2 gives you a different set of variables and levels you up in challenge and gets you a little bit more comfortable, better, gets a little faster. Level 3 levels you up more. 4, 5, 6. It just keeps leveling you up until you hit Jedi. And then if you can tackle Jedi, then you're fucking with me. So there you go. Seon from the chat roll asks, hey Seon, dude. Asks, hey Ken, what would you recommend to capture podcasts and audio outside? A Zoom recorder, a specific mic, or other? Wind keeps messing up the audio, and I can't keep volume constant. I live in this room. I don't. Outside? People record outside? Is that a thing? Does that actually happen? I don't know. But this is what I will tell you. The brainiacs at the ISPRA Institute of Technology in Toulouse, France, tell me that, I wish I knew the model number, but there's a lav mic made by Sennheiser that is the lav mic that everybody uses, and everybody that's a pro tells you, like, don't use anything other than the Sennheiser. So as far as a lav mic goes, research on that Sennheiser and figure out if you can figure out the right one. Other than that, they make a bunch of portable recorders, I don't know, read the reviews, go outside, record something, let me know how it goes. I don't know what it's like outside. That's actually not true. One of the biggest blessings of the pandemic is that we adopted Mazzy right at the very beginning of it. Oh, what a godsend. And Mazzy, unlike any dog we've ever had in our lives, absolutely insists on being walked every day. And if we don't walk her, boy, do we hear about it all day. Right, bae? And that has kept us motivated to get outside and walk for miles every single day. It's been really awesome. And by that token, we didn't really realize how much we had missed being more in touch with nature, because we walk on these like non-streets. We walk on these paths that have been converted to greenways and things. And it's just amazing being out in nature again and, hearing like birds and insects and shit. Like it's nice. So maybe I'll start doing some outdoor recording. You never know. Kevin Rutledge asks, hey Ken, what would you choose between the older HD system and a UAD system for low latency tracking and mixing? I'm always a proponent for, get the newest and it'll probably last you the longest. So if you're serious about making records, or you think this is going to be a hobby that you're going to do for many, many years in the future, I'd probably go with the UAD stuff. You just can't go wrong with UAD stuff. It's pricey, but it is the best. So if you can't afford it, there's plenty of other options, but, I think UAD is pretty great. What else is on the show? I'm going to go to Marcus Manderson. Before I do that, I want to give a few more shout outs. Where are my shout outs? Shout out to Dillon 3D Dresdow. That dude. Okay, so Dillon Dresdow is like will.i.am's engineer and Black Eyed Peas and like everybody else's engineer. The guy's brilliant. So I sent him a license for GreenHAAS, and like within a half an hour, he sends me this book-long email back perfectly dissecting that plugin. It doesn't have any parameters, and I don't tell you what the shit does. He told me what it does. Every single little thing in record time, more descriptively than I probably could have described it to you. So shout out to Dillon 3D Dresdow. My God, your ears are amazing, dude. Wow. And I love your mixes. Duh. Okay. Shout out to the Disco Fries. I was on there. Is it a Twitch stream? I think it was Twitch. With Danny and Nick from the Disco Fries last Friday. Had such a fun time. I just did Killshot's Twitch stream as well. Check that out. I think he's going to start posting it. Shout out to Bob Horn. Dude, man. Cincinnati, bro. Me and Bob are both from Cincinnati, Ohio, and got the fuck out of there, thankfully. Shout out to DJ Darkness. Shout out to Mike Star Dizzle. Shout out to Greg White. Shout out to Johnathan Garcia. Shout out to Platinum Sound Studios. I'm going to be there next week recording. Can't wait. And more shout outs coming your way later. But my current big shout out is to, I don't know if you can see on the wall over there, but it's not a painting. It's like a mixed art. Mixed medium art, I think. Kenny Wayne Alexander. So follow Kenny Wayne Alexander at is it Novi Artwork? I better find this. Don't put the screen up while I look for this. NoviArtwork.com. Kenny Wayne Alexander's work is just absolutely brilliant, and he is probably he's my favorite living artist. So much of his work just so grabs me. And I acquired that one from him, and it's really one of my absolute prized possessions. There you go. Novi Artwork at Instagram. Follow him. Check out his art. Oh, it is really brilliant. And he does these motion art things. I don't know. Here we go. Here's one. Let's see if you can see how this. There's where. So my painting on the wall does the same thing like this in the digital world. Man, he's really brilliant, and his works are affordable right now. If you're looking to invest in some art and you want to catch a superstar before he pops, man, Kenny Wayne Alexander. I put my name on him too. He is really brilliant. Okay. What else we got, Ken? What else we got? I'm going to go to Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, who is going to bring you some epic drum libraries. It's going to be about 3.5, 4 minutes, and then we're going to do some more Q&A, and then we're going to probably go to some Christmas stuff. We're going to do the Beat Challenge. Let's do Marcus, and then I'm going to do the Beat Challenge finale right after this. Man, I got some hardware to give away from Arturia next. I got 3 Arturia interfaces to give away to the top 3 from the Beat Challenge. Is it going to be you? I hope you are paying attention. Okay, here comes Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery on Epic Drum Libraries. Thank you, Marcus.
What's good, Mixing Night family? This is Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, back with another Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment. And in this Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment, we're going to talk all about cinematic percussion, epic percussion, drums and percussion sounds that you can use in your music creations. We're going to get right into it because we have a lot to cover. We're going to start with the high end and go all the way down to a couple of freebies that you can use. So first, starting on the high end, you have Orchestral Tools Tom Holkenborg's, aka Junkie XL percussion. This is a 299 pound. I don't know how that converts to US dollars, but 299 pound library, full contact drums. It's great the way they put it together. You can definitely come to the Orchestral Tools website, see some walkthroughs, hear some demos, see what it's all about and how they put that together. Again, high quality drum percussion from someone who has scored some of the biggest movies that you've seen, franchises and things like that. You can see a little bit about his movies that he scored there, Junkie XL, Tom Holkenborg. Next, we have Hammers, also from another composer by Charlie Clouser, who has done the Saw movies, Resident Evil. He was also in Nine Inch Nails back in the 90s, for those of you who remember them. But Hammers is a Spitfire audio library, $299. And actually, all these libraries may do some deals around the holidays, so definitely keep them in mind when the holiday season comes up. But you can see some demos, listen to some demos, see some videos here, add it to your wish list. And around the holidays, sometimes they do discounts on them. Sometimes they do giveaways on items that are on your wish list. So definitely check that out. Hammers by Spitfire Audio. We also have Hans Zimmer Percussion. If you don't know who Hans Zimmer is, he's scored over 100 films now to his name at $399. Add that to your wish list. Listen to some demos here. Check out some videos. Check that out. Hans Zimmer Percussion. Next, we have East West Storm Drum. Currently, I believe this is a sale price, $199. It's normally $299. Or you can do the monthly subscription for $20 a month. But Storm Drum is an incredible, again, percussion, cinematic percussion library. You can come here to the website. All these links will be in a Discord group, and you can check out some demos, check out the video, read more about it. Next, we have Heavyosity's Master Sessions Ensemble Drums. This is an incredible library. You can also hear some demos here. This is $149, a great price. I believe last year around the holidays, they actually did half off on these libraries. So this was incredible, where you can get it for about $75-ish, $74. Great library. Again, wait for the holidays. Check out some demos. Go to the website. Look at how the UI is set up and things like that. Make your decisions there. The next 6 will all be freebies that you can check out. Mostly free, and I'll explain why I say mostly free, because some of them do require Contact, which you have to buy. They might work in the Contact Player. It might say it might not work with Contact Player, but just know with Contact Player, there is a 10 or 15 minute limitation. So you have to do what you want to do, bounce it to audio really fast, and then you'll be on your way. Cinematic Synthetic Drums from Impact Soundworks, a free Contact library of cinematic drums and things you can use. You can listen to some demos there on their SoundCloud. We also have Piano Book. If you go to pianobook.co.uk, go to library and go to drums and percussion, you can download all of these for free. Some of them are Contact, some of them are EXS24, which is the Apple Logic version of these libraries, and some of them are Sound Fonts, SFZ. So definitely check those out. There's a decent list here. And again, with cinematic percussion, you can distort them, you can throw them into GreenHAAS, you can do all kinds of effects to get that cinematic vibe, add reverb and things like that. Next, we have SCC, S. Christian Collins, Taiko drum. You can see a video here. You can see how the drums are laid out, some instructions on how to use them. Taiko drums is basically like a big drum that has a deep sound. Next, we also have 2 libraries from Splash Sounds. We have Percussion Elements, and we also have Percussion Elements 3. I believe they charge for Percussion Elements 2, which is weird. These are just the free versions of the tri-pack of Elements and Elements 3. I will include links again in the Discord. Splash Sound. You can listen to some demos here. You can see how the UI, this is the Percussion Elements 3 library, and then this is the first one here, Percussion Elements. You can see how they're laid out. And finally, we have Thunder X3M Taiko freebie from Dresdow sampling. Great Taiko library. Again, they have a built great UI, I believe, using Contact Full. Free player not supported. That doesn't mean you can't use it, but try it at your own risk. But again, you can read more about it here. You can see the UI here. You can check out some demos here. So definitely check them out. Adding cinematic percussion. Again, you can also use just a regular drum library, have some toms loaded up, throw some reverb, some distortion on there, and have that sort of cinematic feel, cinematic vibe to them. Just making effects on like toms and things with like low hits and things like that. Kick drums, toms, things like that, even snares. Hopefully this helps you on your epic percussion journey as you're adding epic percussion to your hip-hop, your R&B, your pop, your EDM, all the tracks that you're making, your orchestral scores, everything that you're making. Hopefully this helps you out. This has been Marcus Manderson with another Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right, peace.
Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery. Thank you very much. Another great segment, dude. You always throw down the heat. All right, Mixing Night Beat Challenge, sponsored by Arturia. We are giving away Arturia Mini Fuse interfaces to the winners. Yes, hardware, baby. We got it. Okay. So, I'll show you guys the interfaces when we're done. But basically, they got 2 of them. That's what it is. The Mini Fuse 2 is a 2 in, 2 out. The Mini Fuse 1 is a 1 in, 2 out. It's got a headphone in, a direct in, mic in. Super versatile. They sound great. Worth their weight for sure. And 3 people get to check them out and report back to the rest of you and see if they love them, and I think they will. Okay. So, I gave this beat pack out to a few people before I played it last week, and Len Kuis was one of the people who did a beat to it before the challenge. So it's going to kick off with Len Kuis's beat. He only used sounds from the Arturia starter pack that comes with the interface, and everybody was fed those sounds in individual stems, and everybody had to use something from the sound stems and make your own beat. So without further ado, this is just going to go DJ style for about 5.5 minutes. Put your headphones on, turn your speakers up, kick back, get that mood lighting happening. Here is Len Kuis, followed by Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery. Marcus Manderson, the fingers on the beat.
And the fingers on the beat.
Love the way you flip that, dude.
I bet you unexpected this.
I was not.
Gonna lose control. Tell you all how it is.
MBI.
I know you unexpected this. Oh, I take control.
Wednesday Ann and Queenie King. Wednesday Ann and Queenie King. Hakan Malmberg. You won a couple weeks ago, I think. Musical motherfucker, man. Ben Kruger. Love those acoustics, dude. Dude.
Is there anything I can do before the storm blows over? Is there anything I can do before the storm blows over?
Steppo.
I feel amazing, locked in my room, hear the phasing. Back to the basics, load up on patience. Don't need a doctor, my music the agent. Healing the scene, mixes are clean. Try this new plugin, got house in the green. Clip it like red, time go to bed. I need some sleep, but the song's in my head.
I love that, dude. Doug Pittman. Love those ambient vocals, dude. Jamie Scott Heatley.
Fucking wheels pop, you ain't ever gonna walk again. Sometimes I don't like these times that we live in. It's getting harder
I don't
to
either.
say what I'm thinking. I won't hold back 'cause this world is for living. All that I know is you that I'm missing.
This is your third place winner, the Artie Miss and Dad Cannons. Number 2, Yaha Salman.
She's got everything I need, but don't want in my life. Secret room where we stay. She drugged me by her moves, my mind loses sight. She got me to stay. Begging her for more, even though it's not right. I'll be dreaming heaven. I don't think I can go back to normality.
Sam Champagne, Jason Lee, and MBI. You guys are gonna have to split this. Maybe I'll cut it in 3 and ship it to you.
Do I crave things that not good for me? Fallen angel, I don't mean deep, but it's all I ever wanted. Is now or never, now or never, now or never. I know what's to come, how it will hurt me, but it's all I ever wanted. Is now or never, now or never, now or never.
I mean, seriously. Damn. What a contest. You guys so throw down. I am so impressed by all of you. And truly, apologies to the other couple dozen entries that, I got to narrow it down to something. And the show is only as long as it is. So the Artie Miss and Dad Cannons, I love both of those names. It's so great. The Artie Miss, are you a fan of, is it Matthew Weir? Who's the, Martian? Who is it? Andy Weir. Are you is that a reference to Andy Weir, the Artie Miss? If not, you'll read it one day and you'll love that book. And Dad Cannons, I love it. So you guys win a Arturia Mini Fuse 1. So let me just read you guys the software package that comes with this shit. Arturia FX include Rev Plate 140, that's an EMT emulation, Neve 1073 emulation, Tape 201 emulation, of course Juno 61 emulation, Ableton Live Lite, Analog Lab Intro, 3 months of Auto-Tune, and I think 3 months of Splice, all with that. So yeah, they're loading you up with an interface and software too. So great package with these guys. Yaha and the Artie Miss and Dad Cannons get the Fuse 1. Sam, Jason, and MBI, you guys are gonna have to figure out how to divvy up the Fuse 2. There you go. So hardware for everybody, and the Fuse 2 has the same software package that the Fuse 1 does. Pretty substantial. So, all right, congratulations everybody. It's always great to get hardware. Okay, what is next on the show? All right, a few more shout outs. Before I get to the Christmas music, shout out to the Sophia Session Orchestra. Shout out to Oggy Georgiev. Oggy? He's the Sophia Session Orchestra recording coordinator, who's been a tremendous help. I'll talk about him later. Big shout out to Michael Moss, the movie trailer boss. Ken Van Druten, man, I've been thinking about you, Ken. I hope you're doing well. That's Ken Pooch Van Druten, of front of house fame. Let's see, Killshot, I shouted you out. The Artie Miss, Wednesday, and Howie Weinberg. How you doing, Howie? I hope you're doing well. Jessica Cole, she was just texted me while we're online. Skrizzly Adams, I always love you, bro. Okay, I'm going to tell the J. Cole story before I get to the orchestra, because it's relevant. On the J. Cole Born Sinner album, I produced all of the live choirs and all of the live string sections, and it was 16 strings and 30 voices, roughly. And we did on separate sessions. The choir sessions were one, and the string sessions were the other. So on string day, we have 16 strings, and J. Cole gets there a little bit late, and the string, we're at Avatar Studio A that Berklee College of Music actually just bought that whole complex. But before they bought it, we were in Avatar Studio A with one of the best reverb plates in the entire world. And 16 strings out there playing through my arrangement of the J. Cole song, just by themselves and with no music. And J. Cole walks in the door, and I'm at the studio glass looking out into the big live room at the string section, and J. Cole comes up and kind of stands about 5-6 feet away from me and just turns towards the glass and looks out at the string section playing his song on their instruments. And he looks back at me, he's like, I always thought that was really just this. I had no idea that sounded nothing like this, and I'm never going to make the mistake again when I hear that in my head to use these instead. I was like, damn, that was really fucking cool. So, yeah, I think I produced strings for 5 or 6 songs on that album. All the live strings on the Born Sinner album are me. And the live choirs, the Blessed Choir is my go-to folks. We've the Blessed Choir and I, we've been on, PopCon was one of the most recent, but everybody from Kanye, J. Cole, Khalil Fong, man, there's just a blue million of them. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the show. Christmas. Okay. I'm going to play you the piano vocal that Cliff recorded to set this off. So, Cliff Sims, friend of the show and Forrest Gump impersonator, cut this song. And I'm so glad he did. He absolutely crushed it. I wrote this song with, let me pull that up. I wrote the song, the version I played earlier was the demo that I wrote with Vinny Prezioso and Duncan Johnson. So Vinny and Duncan and I wrote that song in this room and put down like the scratch piano, and Duncan sang the scratch vocal for the demo. And then I played it for Cliff, and Cliff was like, that song is incredible. We've got to do that. So I brought Cliff up. Cliff sang only to a piano. Originally, I had like a drum loop in there to give him more of a sense of timing, but he didn't really need it, and I felt like it was too much. So I just had him cut to piano vocal, and here's the other takeaway from this. If you want to know how I put vocals together, so I had him do at least 12 takes of most, like I've gotten out of them everything that I think I need to get, more than they ever thought that they had to give, which is the mark of a vocal producer. I mean, amp on everything is a vocal producer, but you want to bring out the very best of what the artist has to offer. So hopefully I did that. Here we go.
From my TV screen. Christmas, I'm missing out. Never seen Santa's sleigh. Only got sunny days. I've never.
Okay, so you get the idea. Just dripping Christmas goodness. It's one of my favorite songs ever. It's all about, so Cliff is from Birmingham, Alabama, just like Forrest Gump. And Birmingham doesn't really get any snow, if you've noticed. So I wrote the song for another artist, and they didn't use it. So Cliff came along. I was like, Christmas classic for you. He cut it. Then I was like, okay, how do I produce this? It was like, and it took me a month and a half to find. But this one was a little bit easier. Me and Cliff originally talked about